longer to sort of ground. So make sure knees nice and wide, palms walking in front of you. Just spending a few moments here, longer or shorter, depending on if you're here already on the mat. Fingers are wide, hips towards your heels. And allow your arms, your chest, your hips to be heavy. Just taking the moment here to sort of gather yourself, bringing your mind, your breath and your body here on your mat. And just giving yourself a whole body scan, noticing where you're holding tension. And if you can use your breath to sort of release and ease into your body here. And then gradually turning your attention to your breath. So as best as you can, you're going to inhale and exhale through your nostril. So slowly lengthening and deepening your breath here. So a few more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, you're going to lift up your forehead. Walk your palms over to the rightmost corner, either side by side or stack your left palm on top of your right. Lengthen out your left side here. Grounding back down, taking the effort to shift the left hip to left heel. And then slowly on your next inhale, walk back through center. And then exhale on to the opposite side. Again, you can keep your palms side by side or you can stack your right palm on top of the left. Shift your right hip towards your right heel. Feel the lengthening here on your right side. Breathing nice and deep. And then slowly on your next inhale, walk back through center, sink a bit deeper. Maybe roll your forehead left and right, just to massage your third eye here. And then slowly on your next inhale, lifting up. You're going to shift into tabletop immediately, so make sure your joints are stacked, knees under hip, wrists under your shoulders. And then moving a few rounds through cat-cow here, warming up in towards your spine. So making sure you're moving your spine here, taking your navel towards the ground, maybe look up if it's comfortable. And then exhale, chin to chest, really round that back. A few more times like this. And then once you're ready, come back to neutral. Let's warm up the hips. So you're going to take hip circles here. So right hip to right heel. Shift around, going in a clockwise direction. You can always take your shoulders past the wrist. And at the same time, we are warming up the wrist also. So about 3 to 5 rounds, depending on how fast you move. And once you feel enough, let's change directions here. Opposite direction. So the speed, it depends how you feel here. And then once you have enough, come back to neutral. You're going to start turning your fingers out towards the outside of your mat and then shifting your weight from side to side. Continue to warm up in towards the wrist here. And then either one or both hands together, turning your fingertips towards your knee. So if that's too much, do one at a time. If it's okay for your wrist, then turn both. And then again, shifting weight forward and back. So sort of flexibility of your wrist here. Again, never forcing. You should feel a nice stretch to the front of the forearm. And then turning back towards the front here, you're going to turn the fist down, so back of the palm down. Again, one at a time or both. If you're doing one at a time, just make a fist open. If it's okay for your wrist, then you can do both at a time. And just stretching out the front of the wrist here. And then gently, you're going to release, coming into the forearm to give your wrist a rest here. And then again, you can roll out your wrists after that little warm up. And then placing your palms down and then going through a few rounds of cat-cow from this sort of a half plank Sphinx pose here. So notice the difference with the palms down. You can always switch to this next time if you feel your wrist is a bit tender. Just a few more rounds here, cat and cow. And then slowly you're going to slide forward, maybe move the forearm in front and then lower down in towards a Sphinx pose. So warming up your lower back here, pushing down into your palms like you're pulling your chest forward, chin parallel to the ground. And then maybe here you can drop your right ear to right shoulder and start making some neck circles here, chin to chest. And then coming back to the other direction here. So a couple of rounds here just to warm up in towards the shoulders, the neck. And then come back through center once you finish your second or third round. And then slowly inhale, lifting up your chin back to parallel to the ground here. And then let's open up the elbows to the side. Bring your palms stacked, lower your chin or your forehead. And then bending the knees towards your glutes and then windshield wiper side to side to release out the lower back here. Now slowly you're going to come back to tabletop. So palms by the side of your lower ribs, pressing up. And then re-stack your joints again. We're going to warm up the shoulders and then we warm up the hips also and coming into a side stretch. So inhale, right arm's going to reach up. Exhale, you're going to slide it under the left arm all the way over to the left shoulder. The right side of head comes down. You can adjust your left palm to be the side of your face next to your shoulders, giving a push to open up the chest. You can release the left palm up or you can bring it in behind your right waist for a half bind. So compression on the right shoulder, opening in towards the left here. A couple more breaths as you open up towards the shoulders. And then exhale, gently release if you've not got your left palm next to your face. Inhale, pressing yourself up, reach the right arm up. And then exhale, reach it in front of you, a nice big step away from the left palm. And then let's deep the right shoulder back down, look to the left. So continue to stretch in towards the shoulders, the right side under the armpit. And then slowly walk it under your shoulders over to the left. So inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, thread it through, let the shoulder, the left side of the head drop. Get comfortable, shifting your palm wrist under the elbow. You can release it for half bind. Again, it depends on the side here, how the side body, how the shoulders feel. And then wherever you are, continue to breathe nice and deep. Feel into the shoulder. Again, compression on the left, opening on the right. And then if you're in your half bind, release your right palm back down under your elbow. Inhale. Excuse me, left arm reaches up. And then exhale, walk it towards the front of the mat. And then we're going to dip the left arm and left shoulder down. Maybe tilt to look towards the right. Feel that nice stretch on the left side. And then slowly walk it back under your shoulders. Maybe come back towards a cat-cow just to neutralize all the position that we just do. And then let's come back to neutral and shift the left knee in the center. Inhale, extend the right leg out, behind you. Extend your left arm up for your bird dog, and then exhale, we're going to do 3 rounds. Roll it in, tapping knee to elbow. So make sure pull the navel in, round that shoulders, engage your core, make sure your back is nice and flat, and flex into your right foot. And then after your last round, you're going to release your left palm back down, bend the right knee, and then bring it over to the outside of your left calf here. Open up the legs to the side in towards a V, and then let's walk yourself back, coming into Gomukhasana, sitting on your hips here. So once you're at the back of your mat, adjust your feet nice and comfortable, roll out the hips and make sure the left hip comes down. So let's inhale, arms over your head. Let's drop the right palm down, stretch over to the right side. So feel the length here. Make sure as you bend over to the right, the left hip doesn't lift up. You're still grounded. So the more you ground, the more you reach through the left. You're going to feel a nice opening and lengthening on the left side. Let's exhale, bend the elbow. Inhale to open up the chest. Exhale to round it in towards your right elbow. So feel that nice twist and stretch, maybe towards a different side as opposed to just a side bend. So 3 more rounds or total. Inhale to open. Feel the side body extend. Exhale, round it in. Now on your next inhale, releasing back out. Inhale over to the opposite side, left palm down, right arm reaches over just to counter the stretch here. And then inhale, coming back up, coming into eagle arm to release out the shoulders again, right arm under left, either hug your shoulder blades or single or double bind. Inhale to lift, exhale, maybe tap the knee. So we're going to move, so inhale, lifting, slight back bend, exhale, tap it towards your knee or outside of the knee. One last time, inhale, lift, exhale, tap it in. Now slowly inhale, come back to neutral, release the arms, pop up on towards your knees again, lower your palms here, and then you're going to release, left leg out, right leg behind you. And then exhale, bring the right knee back down next to the left, maybe shift it towards the center as we shift to the left side. So once you're ready and you're balanced, inhale, left leg extend behind you. Flatten out your back, inhale, right arm reaches out. Exhale, bend the elbow, tapping towards your knee. Flex into the left foot, round it in, maybe take it even past your elbow or past your knee, whichever direction you come from. And then once you finish your 3 rounds, lower the right palm, bend the left knee and bring the knee to the outside of the right, and then open up the legs as you walk yourself back again to the back of the mat, coming to a sit in Gomukhasana. Adjust again on this side, ensuring both sit bones are down. And then we're going to start over to the left side. So inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, left palm plants. Reach over to the left side. Feel the length here again. Make sure hips doesn't lift up, sit bones grounded. And then on your exhale, bend the elbow, roll the right elbow back, open up the chest. Exhale, right elbow towards your left. So enjoy this lateral spinal rotation here, moving, opening up the shoulder, the chest. And then exhale, also feel the stretch in towards your hips at the same time. And then inhale, last one, open up, release your right arm, come back up to this center, and then release over to the opposite side, right palm down, left arm reaches over just to counter and release. And then inhale, come back to center, so Gomukhasana arm, left arm on the right, either hug, eagle arms, and then inhale, lifting up the elbow, up and away, and then exhale, tap it in towards your knee. Inhale, start building up some heat before we come up for our warrior flow. So 3 times here, inhale, lift, exhale, round it in. And on your next inhale, come back to neutral, open your arms back out, and then exhale, hop on towards your knee, landing on your right, release your left leg behind you. And then exhale, release left knee next to your right. Cat-cow again if you wish to release any kinks. And then we're going to walk our palms nice and forward, tuck your toes, we come up for our first downward facing dog. So pad out the legs, hamstrings not ready, so pedal away, getting the back line of your legs nice and ready. So maybe one heel down, deeply bend on the necks. Exchange it over and heel down, really bend into the opposite knee. And then slowly come back to stillness. So both legs straight, or you can continue to bend deep. And then slowly on your next inhale, look forward, slowly walk towards the front of the mat. Feet hips width. Let's catch opposite elbow and hold here in ragdoll. So deep bend. As long as your chest is lying nice and comfy on the thigh. You don't have to straighten out your legs here. We're just allowing our upper body, the spine, to decompress. So crowns reaching towards the ground, nice and heavy. Trying to reach your sit bones up towards the sky. And then slowly on your next exhale, release your fingertips down. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising all the way up to stand. Coming into our first Tadasana. So lower your palms down. Palms facing forward. Roll your shoulders back. Close up your eyes. So again, we gather our thoughts, our breath, and our mind. And just notice how the body feels. We're starting to move. We're starting to generate energy. Ground down through your feet. So we need our balance as we move through our warrior flow. So everything should be familiar if you've been practicing yoga. So all the 1, 2, 3, humble warrior, dying warrior. If you don't remember what it is, doesn't matter. We're just going to flow in a way that feels nice, feels meditative, as long as you sort of remember the flow. But don't worry, I will cue you. So on your next inhale, blink, your eyes open, arms over your head. Let's exhale and cactus, slight back bend. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, in towards your forward fold. Inhale, fingertips down the ground, shin or thigh in towards your halfway lift. Exhale, step back with your right foot. Lower your right knee down as we warm up, coming into Anjayasana. Sink in towards your Anjayasana. Again, exhale, we're going to cactus our arm. Lower it all the way down to frame your left foot. We shift our hips back for a half splits. Straighten out the leg again, you're welcome. Blocks are always there for you. Fingertips down, square off your hips, maybe bend into the knee as we start to open up into the hamstring to prepare for the stronger standing poses that's coming up. Nice deep breath here. Now slowly we're going to re-bend into the left knee. Pick up the right knee, come up in towards a runner's lunge. We're going to spin the right foot down, 45-degree angle, and then on the inhale, we're rising into our first warrior one. So inhale, pressing down your foot nice and strong, hips square forward. So some of us can't get this hip square forward. If it's needed, you can still open up to the diagonal, making sure no pressure on that knee. So some people will insist this happen. Again, it put pressure on the knee, so if it means it's more comfortable and a diagonal, please do that. Listen to your body. So bend into the knee, our first warrior, feeling nice and strong, lifting up through your core. Nice deep breath here. Now exhale, gently release, framing the left foot. Step back in towards your first plank. Knee, chest, chin here, vinyasa, or you can straight away go to your chaturanga, meeting in your up dog or cobra. And then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. So start to generate some heat, getting the flow going. Just a gentle first round just to get the legs, the body ready before we add more poses in towards our flow. Now on your next inhale, bend your knees, walk or step forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising all the way up here. Coming back into Tadasana, palms into prayer as you lower your palms all the way down, turning it back to the front, close your eyes and just regroup here. So notice the head generated, feeling energized in towards your legs as we move in towards the second side. So on your inhale, blink your eyes open, arms over your head. Exhale, let's cactus, slight back bend. Inhale, reach your arms over your head. Exhale, in towards your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, this time step back with your left foot, lower the left knee down, coming up in towards Anjayasana. So landing nice and stop, strong right leg. Inhale, arms up, sink in towards your hips, or you can stay more or less square. And then let's exhale, cactus the arm, open up the chest, continue to rain the arms down, and then swing it forward to frame your right foot, shift your hips back in towards your half splits. Take a few movements here to just get in towards the hamstring, breathing nice and deep. Flex into the right foot, micro bend the right knee if it's still early. We have more opportunities to get this hamstring warm up. Now on your next inhale, re-bend into that right knee, tuck the left toes, lift up the left knee, preparing for a low lunge first. Stretch out the left hip flexor before you spin the left foot out. Maybe shorten your stance. So some people do a warrior one quite short. So press into the right foot, strong core as you lift up in towards warrior one. So again, notice in warrior one where your hips are facing. If this hip can't turn forward without injuring the knee, keep it on a slight diagonal. Bend into the right knee, arms over your head, shoulders relax. Just one breath here to hold, feeling the strength in your leg, grounding down both in the front and the back left outer sole. And then exhale, you're going to rain it down, framing your right foot, step back in towards your plank. Exhale, knee, chest, chin or chaturanga, keep your elbows in. Inhale, sliding forward for your cobra or up dog if you want to lift up the thighs and the knees. And then tugging the toes, shift your hips back. We are back in downward facing dog. So pattern your legs here. Notice how the legs start to feel energized. We're going to start our second round. Inhale, bend into your knees, stepping forward. Inhale for our halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Hands come into prayer as you slowly drop back down into towards Tadasana. Turn your palms to face the front. Closing your eyes down again and notice how the sides feel. So we're still keeping our flow quite simple as we add more and more poses to it. And bearing in mind tomorrow we are doing yoga sculpt, so some of the sequence will be quite similar to here so that you can move easily, especially when we have our weights added. So that will be based on today's flow. So on your next inhale, blink your eyes, open arms over your head, maybe look up this time. And exhale, cactus, open up the chest. Inhale, rising back up. Exhale, diving forward. Fingertips reaching anywhere you can reach. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, step back with your right foot. Lower your right knee down, coming back through Anjayasana. Inhale, power up. Sinking and then exhale in towards your cactus. Rain it down to frame your left foot, shift back in towards half splits. So a simple sequence here. And then we're going to re-bend in towards the left knee so we're not holding long this time. Lift up your right knee, getting ready to spin the right foot down. Square out your hip as best as you can as you lift up through your warrior one. Continue on from here. We're going to take the arms behind us, interlock your finger, make a fist, pull the fist down. Open up the chest, maybe look up, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, humble warrior. So we're going to deep forward, taking the left shoulder on the inside of the left thigh. So what's happening here? Our left butt may stick up. Bring it back behind you so that you're facing diagonally towards your right, top right corner. Really ground down your both feet. Maybe take the head down, lower and lift the fist up. And then exhale, we're going to release our arms down. Walk your hands towards the top rightmost corner in a down dog lunge. Feel the nice stretch in towards the left hip here. Breathing nice and strong. Now slowly walk your hands back to frame your left foot. Pivot your right foot back up. On the inhale, we are coming up in towards a warrior three. So we're going to kick off the right leg with the support of your hand. You can always use your block. Give it a one kick or two kick depending how your knee feels, how your legs feel. Walk your blocks in front, lift up in towards your warrior three. So in warrior 3, make sure the hip is not open up, it's square towards your mat. Flex into your right foot, slightly roll down the right hip. You can keep your hands on block on the floor, or if you feel ready, you can micro bend the knee, lift up the hands in towards your prayer. Your body should make a T shape with that left standing leg. Nice deep breath here. Now slowly you're going to bend into that left knee, drop the right foot back, coming up in towards a high lunge. So we transition through warrior 3 because it's a warrior flow. Bend into the knee, and then we're going to pivot the right foot down, open up in towards your warrior 2. So we've gone through 3 now, 1, 2, and 3. So right heel pressing down, bend into your left knee, take a peek down at your big toe. You should still see it to ensure that your knee doesn't go past the ankle. Nice deep breath here. Maybe look towards your front right fingers, and then slowly we're going to cartwheel our arms down, coming back into vinyasa. So frame the left foot, step back in towards your plank, and of course at any point, if you wish to skip any vinyasa, go straight to downward facing dog. Once you're in downward dog, rest for a few breaths, maybe release through the mouth as you feel the legs getting stronger, getting more energized, and really getting its work done to them. On your next inhale, bend your knees. Let's step forward, a walk. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising back all the way up through, coming and meeting in Tadasana. Palms facing forward, close your eyes down. Again, notice your legs. So of course, warrior, lots of legs. We add slightly different variation, working on the shoulders as well, like in humble warrior, quite a bit on the hips, but you're going to feel it most in your legs. So it's about balance, it's about grounding. It's also about movement, about our transition through all the warrior poses, feeling strong, feeling powerful in yourself, your confidence. And on your next inhale, blink your eyes open, arms over your head, looking up. Exhale, cactus, really open up the chest. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, this time step back with your left foot. Lower the left knee. Power up in Anjayasana. Arms over your head, sink into your hips, and then let's exhale. Cactus your arm, open up the chest. Exhale, rain the arms down, frame your right foot, shift your hips back in towards your half splits. So you should start feeling the difference in the hamstring is getting warm, the hips getting warm, the leg muscles are all getting nice and warm. So let's re-bend into the right knee, tuck your left toes, lift up your left knee. We're going to spin it open to get it into warrior 1. So 45-degree, press into your right foot, power up with your core, standing nice and strong in your warrior 1. So sink into your right, lower the shoulders down, breathing here for humble warrior 2nd round. So let's bring the hands behind you, maybe this time interlock the opposite way, so the less favorable way, thumb on top, squeeze the shoulders, maybe a slight back bend, and then on the exhale, dip the shoulders in, right shoulder sliding past your right knee, shift the right hip back. Again, tight shoulders like me, you can't get all the way down. If you're really flexible, maybe you can get your head all the way down to the ground. One more breath here. And then on your exhale, release that bind, walk your hands to the top left corner in this down dog lunge. So bend into that knee, really feel that stretch in that hip flexor, right hip here. One more breath. And then you're going to walk it and frame your right foot, pivot the left leg up. Again here, at any moment, grab your block. You're in runner's lunge. So we're going to come up into warrior 3. So you can walk the blocks, kick off the left leg to be standing on that right leg. Start squaring out your hips, ensuring your shoulders is above your wrist if you're supported by blocks. Square off the hips, turn the left hip down, and of course you wish, you can lift off in towards a balancing warrior 3. Hands can come in prayer. You can fly it forward, fly it behind. And then you're going to deep bend into that right knee. Drop the left foot down nice and gently. Inhale, lift up for a high lunge. So there it takes some strength. You should feel it in your core strong front legs too. And then exhale, open up, spin it open in towards warrior two. Breathe here, check your knee. Arms staying nice and strong. It should feel like a powerful stance. And then we'll add this on the next round. So cartwheel your arms down, frame back your right foot. Again, you can step back in towards your plank or straight in towards downward facing dog if you wish to skip any of the vinyasa. You can rest in between, you can add back. So it's your choice here. You don't have to go through each vinyasa. Nice deep breath here. Now slowly open up your knees, sink your hips down. Let's take 3 breaths here in child's pose as we regroup. So the next round will be sort of similar. We'll take off some of the stuff that we don't need since our body is warm up and straight going into that nice strong warrior flow. So we're going to add some movement, again dynamic movement into our warrior flow, which we will use tomorrow for our yoga sculpt. Just the only difference is weights. So if you don't have hand weights, you can use mineral bottle water. Last time I got a student that used to bring 750 or 500 ml, as long as you can hold it well, or anything that feels heavy, like your kids' school medal, school trophy works too. So it's your imagination and what you have, and be creative. Now slowly on your next inhale, coming back through into downward facing dog, and we'll step back towards the front of the mat. So inhale here, and then maybe exhale, let it go through your mouth, cleansing breath. On your next inhale, bend your knees, walk or step forward towards the front of your mat. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fall. Inhale, rising all the way back up to stand. Coming back through your Tadasana, your resting and also your regrouping pose here. So wriggle out your toes, really ground onto your feet, roll the shoulders down your back. And then just take a few breaths here as you feel your body. Bring your breath back to its original rhythm. Nice and deep and long. And then we're going to start the second part of our flow. So on your next inhale, blink your eyes open, arms over your head. We're going to incorporate what we did yesterday also. So let's pick up the right leg, swing it behind your left ankle, squeeze it through, catch your right wrist, left hand, and then side bend over to the right. Breathe here. So we're going to come into warrior three, slightly different for this round. So slowly come back through center, squeeze that knees, the thigh together, release the grip, coming into forward fold. So hinge from your waist. So this particular forward fold will be stronger than usual. You have got the crisscross. You should feel it nicely down both sit bones here. Fingertips and hands slightly forward. You can again use block, really press into that left foot and then release the right leg out long behind you. We are in warrior three. So again here you can stay in supported warrior three. You can lift up your hand into prayer. Breathing nice and strong here. Nice deep breath. Again from here we're going to deep bend in towards the left knee. Drop the right foot back. Inhale, lift up. Coming into high lunge. Preparing for our warrior two. So let's spin it open. Arms reaching forward. So this is where we change it up. So we're going to do some dynamic movement here. So first dynamic movement, group of three. We're going to inhale, straighten out the knee. Turn towards the side, lift up the arm. Exhale, re-bend in towards warrior two. So you can see tomorrow how we can use this for our sculpt with the weights. So exhale to bend, inhale to straighten, out the leg, arms over your head, and then we'll all return in towards warrior two. Once you're back in warrior two, you're going to flip the right arm forward, squaring out your shoulders so it's like you're an archer. So make a fist, thumbs facing up. You're going to pull your bow like an archer all the way back. Elbow pull all the way back. And then release, open up your fist like you're releasing the bow on the line on the bow. And then you're going to bend the elbow behind you to sort of pick up a fake bow. Bring it back up. Place it back in front. So we're going to do it 3 rounds. So tomorrow we're going to do it with our weight. So inhale to open up, pull the elbow back. Engage the shoulders, release that fist, and then bring it behind you, pick up your arrow, place it back in towards your front. One last time. Inhale, pull it back, keep the left arm strong, pull, release, and then come back to your warrior two, bend deep in towards your knee. Let's reverse your warrior, reach the left palm, flip it, slide the right palm down the right leg, bend deep in towards the left knee. And then let's cartwheel arms down, frame the left foot, step back again, vinyasa here, or anything you wish. If you want, go into child's pose, rest for a moment, and we'll repeat that on the left side. Nice deep breath here. So feel the shoulders work that we did. So imagine if you're doing with the scalp, you're going to feel it more in towards the shoulders. Now inhale, bend your knees, let's step forward. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising all the way back up. Again, coming to regroup in towards your Tadasana, shoulders. Roll down, palms facing forward, closing your eyes down. So notice the difference on the sides here again. And then we'll repeat all on the opposite side. Sort of neutralize, equalize. Now slowly on your next inhale, blink your eyes, open arms over your head, pick up your left foot, cross it behind you, squeeze the ankles together, thighs together, catch your left wrist, right hand, and then side bend over to the right. Feel the length here on the left side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hinge from the waist in towards your forward fold. A bit wobbly here today, so make sure your balance here, ground down. Now fingertips slightly walk in front or on your blocks. Remember, you're going to release the left leg behind you, extend it nice and long in towards your warrior three. Hands on the ground on the block. You can stay down or you can increase intensity by lifting the arms up in towards a balance. So wherever you are, deep bend into the right knee, drop the left foot back, inhale, we are in high lunge. So first sink in towards the right knee, and then going to spin the left heel open in towards your warrior two. Bend in towards that right knee, so remember our dynamic flow. So you're going to inhale, straighten up, palms together. Exhale, re-bend in towards the knee. Inhale, move with your breath. Exhale, bend in towards your knee. Last one. Inhale, straighten and lift the arm. Exhale, bend back in towards the knee. So getting ready for your bow, your archer. Reach your arm forward, make a fist, thumb facing up. So nice stretch down the side. Pull your bow back, elbow all the way to the back. Release that fist. Pick up the arm, take another arrow, place it back towards the front. Move back forward. So make every movement really purposeful, with strength, with power and dignity. Release. Pick up your arrow again. Keep bending into the right knee. Don't forget your legs, even though we are moving the arms here. So feeling like powerful, like I'm going to aim straight forward, even though maybe in real life you miss. No worries, all in your head. And then finish up your last one and open back up in towards your warrior two. Feeling powerful. Let's flip the palm, come into peaceful warrior. That sounded peace, isn't it? Bend into that right knee, and then let's cartwheel the arms down. Frame your right foot, step back. Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Nice deep breath here. And breathe. So incorporate one last one, dying warrior, into our pose. It's like, what the heck is dying warrior? Maybe that's how you feel after that flow. Hopefully not, but it just means a resting warrior, more like dying warrior sounds terrible. It's these Americans with their new yoga poses names. Now let's bend your knees, let's step forward. One last round, a short round. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. And because it's a short round, we're going to go straight. Repeating the same flow, so right leg behind, so you'll be familiar. Catch your right wrist, left hand, side bend to the left. Nice deep breath here. Now inhale, come back to center, hinge from your waist. Let's forward fold. Fingertips reaching to the ground, or you can use your blocks. And then releasing in towards your warrior three, right legs extend out. So here again, you can bend your knees. And then slowly you're going to release all the way down. Lift up for your high lunge. Release in towards your warrior two. So this time you're only going to do one time. So you're going to straighten the leg, arms together. Exhale, open back up to warrior two. Your archer's pose, palms forward, pull your bow back. Release it and pick up a bow and put it back, even though we're not going to fire this time. So reopen back up in towards your warrior two. Flip your palm for your peaceful warrior. And then slowly let's straighten out the legs to come into triangle pose. So hips back, hands can come down on towards your shin or your leg. Right arm reaches up. One breath here as we open up in towards the chest. And then exhale, let's release, pivot towards the front, bend in towards your left knee. You're going to lower the right knee down, shift back here in towards, we call it the dying warrior. So untuck the back toes, we're stretching in towards the quad that we work hard, and then folding over the left leg here. Catch your breath here. One more breath. So we're skipping vinyasa for this. We're coming into our stretch, cool down portion. So on your next inhale, lifting back up. So this is where I incorporate what we did last week in mobility, how to come back up from here to standing without hands or with very little weights on your hand. So you're going to rebend into the left knee, tuck your right toes, lift up, stepping forward, arms over your head, and exhale, lower back down into Tadasana. So after this, we're just going to rest, we're going to stretch, and we're going to enjoy our practice that we've done and relax our legs. So one more round on the opposite side. So pick up your left leg, behind you, arms over your head, catch your left wrist in your right hand, lengthen out this side before you side bend over to the right. So feel yourself getting taller. Inhale, come back through center. Remember, we're going to forward fold, so hinge from your waist. Slowly wind down, hands can come on the ground, maybe shake out your head, yes, no, preparing for warrior three. Fingertips on the ground or the block, lift up your left leg long behind you, wherever, whether you're balancing, hands on the ground. One breath here. And then on your exhale, deep bend on the right leg, drop the left foot back, come up in towards your high lunge, bend in towards your right knee, nice and strong. Exhale, open up in towards your warrior two. So one round here. Inhale, straighten, arms reach over your head. Come back in towards warrior two. Reach your bow in front of you. Engage and pull it all the way back. Pick up your bow, placing it back for later. And then swing your arms open back in towards your warrior two here. And let's straighten out the leg. Forward, hips back, come into triangle pose. Open up the chest. And then just exhale, you're going to release, re-pivot back towards the front here. Lower the left knee down. Shift back. Sink your hips towards your heel for a nice quad stretch. And then folding forward over your right leg. So surrender in towards the floor. Releasing the legs, feel the nice release on the left quad. And breathe. So you're going to come back up to stand here, so you can try it without hands. So inhale to lift up, re-bend into your right leg, tuck your left toes, lift up the left knee, and then step it forward, coming back in towards Tadasana. Breathing here nice and deep, sort of regroup, checking your whole body, how it feels. So hopefully you feel energized, the legs feel powerful. And then we'll do all that tomorrow with our weights. Now inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, release in towards your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, let's step back in towards a downward facing dog. Nice deep breath here. On your next inhale, right leg's going to kick up, open up the hip here, bend the knee. And then re-straighten out the right leg, bring the right knee towards your right wrist. Let's set up for sleeping pigeon. So slide the left leg back. First, square off your hips first. If you need blocks under your hips, please do. Make sure, take a peek, the left leg is nice and long behind you before you release down in towards your sleeping pigeon for a nice rest. So you can place your hands on blocks, or you can have elbows down, rest your head, take a nice few deep breaths here. Just releasing out the legs, opening up in towards the hips for a nice stretch, because we work in towards our hip muscles today, from the stepping back, lifting up into your warrior 3, or just stepping back and coming in a high lunge, a lot of that in the glute. So this pigeon here will release those tired hip muscles on the right here, and just release and stretch out your left hip flexors. Nice deep breath here. One more breath. Now slowly on your next inhale, pressing yourself up from wherever you are. Let the right hip drop down, swing the left leg forward. Let's come into a Janu Shasana from here first. So right foot in your left inner thigh, flex into your left foot. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, let's fold over the left leg wherever you can reach. Breathing here nice and deep. So the hamstring should feel way better than it did before. So allow your back to round. We're resting here, getting the body in towards your Shavasana. Just enjoying the stretch, releasing the hard-working muscles. And then slowly on your next inhale, coming back up. So on the same point of doing our archer, so this is archer seated. So you're going to make a hook with your index and the third finger, catch hold of your right toes, bring it up. So here it depends on your hips. So we did open a bit, but not too much today, but just to get a feel of the archer pose that we did versus the standing. You're going to pull the right knee back. At any point, if you can reach your left toes at the same time, this is a big stretch. If you can't, hold on anywhere on the knee. Most important is to get this hip open. So if you can hold it, this is your archer's pose. So I'm barely reaching my left toes. A big opening, big shoulder stretch. And then on the exhale, you're going to release, guide that right leg, step it over to the outside of your left thigh. And then either give it a hug, or you can inhale, lift up your left, hook it to the outside of your right knee, release out the back that was just being pushed back into the twist here. So sit up nice and tall. And just feel the release here in the lower back here. Roll the shoulders back, keep flexing in towards your left foot, pressing down your right foot. And then inhale, head back center, counter stretch. Release your right shoulder or elbow on the inside and then spin over to the left side. So if your spine cracks along the way, it's nice to release all these little pockets of air. We're just moving. It means we're moving our spinal disc, our spinal column. And then slowly release back towards the front. Let's turn this knee down so it's in a tighter configuration. And then we're just going to fold over. So sort of similar to that dying warrior where we have our knee down. So this will get deeper under the hamstring. So if it means you can't come down as far, it's normal. So release out the hamstring one more time. And then slowly on your next inhale, coming all the way back up, crossing your ankles, step back in towards downward facing dog. So we've got the left side to finish up here. So pedal the legs, notice the difference in the legs here. And on your next inhale, left leg's going to come up, bend the knee, open up the hip here. Preparing for arches that's coming up. And then exhale, release left knee towards left wrist, setting up for pigeon on the second side. Again, walk your hands towards the back here, just to square off the hips. The front leg doesn't need to be parallel. There are very few of us can do that. You got magical hips. If you don't, just do what is comfortable. Make sure no pain on the left knee, and then come down to the height that's comfortable for the hip. Nice stretch in the right hip flexor. We'll come all the way down with the forehead on your stacked palms. And then you may feel difference on the sides. So one side will be tighter than the other. Just observing again. Just getting to know your body with this hour that you spend exclusively for yourself, just between you and your body and your breath. Feel the body cooling as we sort of slow down. And just enjoy whatever feeling that comes. One more breath here. Now slowly on your next inhale, coming back up. We're going to flip over to the left hip, swing your right leg forward so you can straighten it out. So left foot on the inside of the right thigh, flex into the right foot. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, let's fold over the right leg. So allow yourself to drape down the shoulders round. Getting your chest close towards your thigh, maybe micro bend into the right knee. And just allow yourself to melt. No pressure, no forcing. Just go where your body feels is the best. So arches pose next. So inhale, rising up. Hook your finger over the left toe. You can always start by catching hold on the opposite toe. Bring it up. All behind you and feel that stretch. So maybe you're here, you're still holding to your knee. Doesn't matter. It's about opening this left side. Doesn't look very fabulous. I prefer the standing archer in the warrior. And then slowly you're going to release. Help the foot cross it over the right. So if this is the first time, your introduction to another pose, there's so many of them. So either hook or hug, left palm behind you. Release out the lower back here. Breathe into the twist, sitting up nice and tall, so no leaning back. If you lean back, you're not going to feel into the twist, so make sure your shoulders stack over the hips. Keep flexing into the right foot, and then use the strength of your elbow to go where you wish to go. So getting deeper in towards the twist. And then inhale, head back center. Exhale, release to the opposite side. Elbow on the outside, push it against it so that you can turn your chest over to the right. Again, enjoy any clicks and clacks that comes. Or maybe it's all been released out. Maybe you can sneak one little one in. Really get into all that spinal length here. And then slowly come back through center. Release that knee down. So the foot comes out, keep flexing, and then inhale up high and tall, and then exhale, creep forward. Maybe it's only a wee bit, but you're going to feel it down that right hamstring with the addition weight of that thigh on that right thigh. So we're going to do legs up the wall. After this, we're going to do a few twists, and then we're going to take legs up the wall. So you can think about where you want to go. If you don't have a wall, a chair or a bench works good, so that we're not holding our legs up, because we did quite a strong flow with the legs, so we like to release some pressure, sort of de-stress, get the blood flow back towards your heart. Now slowly walk yourself out, release that leg out long, give that a nice shake, and then slowly you're going to come back down on the mat here, and then we'll do a couple of twists, and then we're going to take our legs up the wall. So lying down, hug your thighs in towards your chest, maybe rock side to side, massaging out the lower back here. Let the knees drop over to the right, arms extend to a T. Look over to the left, fingertips. And again, of course, if you want to go deeper, you can cross the left leg under the right into a sort of a Gurmakasana twist. Then please do. Ensuring your left shoulder blade is pressing down. You're trying to turn your left chest towards the ceiling. So to maximize your twist here. So notice the difference between the seated twist versus the reclined twist. The reclined twist, we have the help of gravity to get deeper. Now slowly come back through center. If you got your legs uncrossed, across, then you uncross, then hips slightly to the right, and then stack your legs above each other, and then let it drop to the left. Maybe turn to look towards your right fingertips. Staying here, or again you can cross right under left to deepen in towards your twist here. Right shoulder blade stays on the ground. And then slowly release from your twist. You're going to find a wall or find a bench, or you can do it just legs up. So if you're doing legs up, you can give your legs a shake, flex and point and roll out your ankles, or you can do both. So I'm doing both. I'm shaking out my legs first before finding a wall. If you're moving towards a wall, make sure hips is towards the side, and then let yourself roll back down so that your hips is as close to the wall as possible, and then have your feet wider than hip, and then let it rest on the wall. So as mentioned many times before, this is a great pose for before bedtime. So if you find yourself difficult to fall asleep easily, you can do this just before bedtime. Just turn yourself around, use your headboard as a rest, and then have your feet up. So just to reverse the blood flow, a very mild inversion, to let the blood come back, even the lymph to come back to your lymph node, up in between your hip crease there. You got feel there, up your armpit, your neck, and the major lymph nodes. So you can here wriggle out your toes. You can continue to stay here through your Shavasana, or if you prefer your traditional Shavasana, whichever you prefer. So if you're enjoying your legs up the wall, continue to stay here. So I am. And then I'll signal you for the end of Shavasana. So if you're in legs up the wall, ensure that your lower back has no space. It's nice and flat. And just take up space, whether your legs up the wall or straight out, lying in front on the mat. Allow your breath to slow back down, and taking this moment to absorb all your practice, all the poses that we've done, the energy that we've generated, coming into this stillness and this rest. So of course, you're always welcome to stay as long as you wish. If you're enjoying your legs up the wall, you're enjoying your Shavasana, continue to stay there. You don't have to move. But if you want to, just come down or come up from wherever you are. You're going to meet back in the front of the mat in a nice comfortable sit. With your eyes gently closed, palms on your knees. And then roll your shoulders back, or be exactly where you are. You're going to take this time to bow to yourself, or just close your eyes and acknowledge yourself for showing up again on the mat, day after day, doing wonderful things on the mat together with your breath and your body. And I thank you once again for practicing with me, and hope to see you tomorrow. Namaste.